staff.
Hey y'all, it's Trap Talk Radio, Trap Talk, Trap Music, and Trap Possibilities with Madam CJ. Right here on In Touch Radio, reality radio, where everyone is a star. I'm so happy to be back, y'all. I'm stuttering today. I don't know if it's coffee or what. We starting off already. It must be you, girl. I got Sakeya Donaldson in the building today, y'all. She is so beautiful. She must got me shaking in my shoes because, honey, I can't even say the intro right. Okay, we are In Touch Radio, reality radio, where everyone is a star, y'all. We are back. We're gonna have an amazing time today. Sakeya, she's a new business friend that I've met, and I'm so excited to talk to her about everything she got going on, some of her history, who she been around, baby. Y'all want to be here for the show. So if you haven't already, text a friend, www.intouchnews.com. Again, it's www.intouchnews.com, and call in and talk to us. 813-444-9588. Again, it's 813-444-9588. Now, to all my listeners who have been following me for almost 3 years now. Dang, I've been in the game for a minute. My baby finna be 2. My baby about to be 2, and I've been on the show almost 3 years. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, I don't know if there's like a longevity award that you guys give. Zakiya, I'm talking to the owners of the show, so I don't know if there's like a 3-year award that comes out, but I think it's about time for me to get something.
Yeah, we need a bonus. We need a
something, right? But I will say, for the people that have been following me and listening, have y'all noticed I've been doing really good not looking back at the board to get the number? Like, I know the number of the show now by heart. That speaks for something, right? Because I was really dependent on. So, they used to have a board back. Well, it is back here. It had all the information. So literally every show, I would turn around and be like, but I'm doing so good. Yeah, I'm doing so good.
Baby steps.
So anyway.
Victories.
Y'all know I always tell you guys what I learned in the trap this week. And this was a very interesting week for me. But yet, confirming. Because you know how, like, when you go through life, sometimes different situations will make you feel like you don't really know what you're doing. Right? Like, you may be in something that makes you feel uncomfortable, and you like, well, dang, I'm kind of at this place again. Maybe it's me. This time, with some of the things that I was faced with this week, I can stand firm that I am not in the same place that I was a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yes.
And with that being said, I can stand wholeheartedly on whatever decisions that I had to make, whatever adjustments that I needed to make in my life, because you know what? I am not the same person that I was a year ago, 2 years ago. And what does that mean for me? I know my value more, right? I think sometimes as individuals, I'm not even going to say just women, but as individuals, we can be so confident and so confident in different situations, but when it comes to us, we don't exhibit that same confidence that's earned the same validation for ourselves, right? I was talking to my god sister, and she didn't know it, but she was about a year or two ago, she was telling me about a situation that she was dealing with, and she said, you know what, girl, in all honesty, I lack self-confidence, and I was offended. I was offended by the comment because I related to what she was going through, but I didn't feel like I lacked confidence. But hindsight, I did lack confidence because I didn't value myself. Right. So what I'm proud of myself is now I'm learning my own value, right? When I see different women or people or individuals, and they can stand firm on the things that they say, regardless if it's a business price. If they say, hey, listen, my service is $1,000, right? And I look at them like, dang, that's kind of expensive. But they get clients with them $1,000. I promise you, somebody gonna pay that money.
I just posted something this week on my Instagram. It said, I'm not changing my price. Y'all just gotta go get some more money.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it. And the thing about it is if, first off, you have to be confident in your skill set to be able to, with a straight face, look somebody in the face and say, this is my price.
Right.
And then not feel guilty if they can't pay
Meet
it.
that.
Like, it's not your job to accommodate everybody.
Right.
It's your job to accommodate the people that can pay for your service. So those are the people that you focus on.
Absolutely. And so with that being said, that applies to every avenue of life, right? That applies. We use the example of business, but that applies with family. That applies with romantic relationships. That applies with business relationships. I mean, everything in your life, you have to know your own value. Because when you just said that, I don't know why this came to my mind, but I like a T-bone steak, right? So I bought on a budget. I'm one of those people that I would rather be able to put $4,000 into my business, and I'm gonna wear Walmart clothes and your man gonna be looking at me in Walmart clothes. I promise you, because I'm gonna be baby. Period. And I'm not. If you ask me where I got it from, I'm gonna tell you Walmart, girl. Go get you one.
This a whole rollback look,
baby. Today, baby, and I hold your man, cause he watching. I don't want him, but hold him, right? So, but baby, I like now. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If you want a cheap T-bone steak, Denny's.
Okay.
Denny's is good, right? Denny's good. But every now and then when I got an extra coins, I'm going to go to Longhorn because they outlaw ribeye is fire. Okay. Right? Now, I never paid for my meal, but my homeboy, when I was able to, I was working in his business, and what I did, I got him on some programs, and he hit like his business skyrocketed over like 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. He took me to Charlie's. Okay.
Oh, and they brought the tray out with all the steaks, baby, and you could be like, I want that one.
Okay, and I got it. And that was his thank you, right? He took me to Charlie's, but I got T-bone at every one now, right? I got my T-bone steak, but it was different levels to it. Right. The same thing, right? If you can't, if I'm saying that I need Charlie's quality of service, of love, of respect from you, baby, and all you can give me is Denny's, that's okay.
It's not okay.
No, I'm saying I don't want that.
Okay, yes.
Right,
yes.
But you're right. It is not okay. Don't give me to go with the angle that you're saying. Please don't give me a Denny's steak when I expect Charlie's. I'm accustomed
to Charlie's.
And really, in all honesty, the problem is that when we should be accustomed to, let's say you meet us in the middle of Longhorn. Well, you should when your palate says Longhorn,
right?
But you accept Denny's, you really devaluing yourself.
Because it's gonna be hard to get them back to that Longhorn level when you don't accept it.
And you're gonna be complaining to Denny's all the time. Well, Denny's, why the steak ain't thick? Well, you ain't, that's not what we do.
Yes, this is not our
steak is thin.
It's not our speed.
Okay.
This is a skirt steak.
Okay. So why you and then on the other side of that, it's not even really healthy. You know what I'm saying? With the relationship to be expecting Denny's to give you Charlie's. Because it's like, why even put that on them when they just can't give it to you? Right. So y'all,
ooh, girl, you touching my soul.
Listen, but that's just a part of my, that's just a part of me growing. And I pray that I continue to stay here as I face different things in my life. Right. And that is something. I have a 2-year-old. Her name's Legacy. Okay. Well, she better be 2. Okay. But
shout out to Legacy.
Shout out to Legacy, girl.
That's a dope name.
Thank you. Me and her dad, we made sure we thought about that. So y'all, I swear, if I could post pictures of her, my baby had on her Minnie Mouse outfit today, her shades. I said, okay, her daddy be dressed. I said, okay, Rick, okay. But she was so cute going to daycare today, child. Yes. So anyway, shout out to Legacy. But that is something I would love to teach my daughter. Like, know your value, stand on your value, and somebody gonna appreciate you.
Correct.
And no matter way, shape, or form. I met a girl that had has a virtual assistant business. And baby, I said, how much your price? She said $1,700 a month. I said,
retainer.
I said, okay, cool.
Yeah.
She ain't blink.
For what? Blink for what?
And I seen her, no, I'm not lying, y'all. I seen her leave the place we was in, go next door and say, oh yeah, I just got a new client. I can't afford to pay her $1,700. Yeah. Not with the caliber of work that we, you know what I'm saying? But somebody could.
Is.
Now, and it was not my place.
Right.
To try, well, girl, can you? That's not it, baby. I know as an individual, she find herself worth $1,700, and baby, she got somebody. She say,
but you know what the thing about it is, like, that's a luxury service.
It is.
A person does not need a personal assistant. So if you need a personal assistant, that means you're making money. That means you can busy. Afford it. That means you're busy enough that you have to delegate responsibilities to another person.
And major responsibilities, because let's be clear, as entrepreneurs, a lot of times we say we need an assistant, but if we just really just do some time management. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
I know, with my business Painting in the Trap, it's a lot of moving parts. So I have an operations manager. She's been working with me now for, I guess we're going on 2 years. Now, that's not necessarily a full-time thing that I need her to do, but there is times I'm like, okay, we got a busy season coming up. Right. I need her to order supplies. So could I, if I really needed to, could I buckle down and do that? Right. But ideally, I would miss some business, but that's just the level of where my business is. So I get it, right? Yes. So, yes, absolutely. If you need to have a full-time assistant, baby, you're making money.
So that $1,700 is nothing.
She like,
because that's freeing you up to make more money and do bigger things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when I was living in Atlanta, I wanted to get a driver. I wanted to hire a driver. I wanted to get an Escalade and I wanted to hire a driver. And people was looking at me like I was crazy. Like, what do you need a driver for? And it's like, bro,
you know what I could do?
I have 4 hours I spend in traffic every day. Because I multiply everything times 30. Because it's a month.
Okay.
If I'm spending 4 hours a day in traffic times 30 days, that's 120 hours that I'm not being productive. I'm doing absolutely
that's a lot.
That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. So imagine if I value my time at $100 an hour. Do the math. That's $12,000 that I'm just
that you driving it,
sitting on 85. So if I could get a driver and I could sit in the back comfortably, take phone calls, send emails, set up meetings, do virtual stuff. What we talking
Most
about
definitely.
if I gotta pay this guy $2,500 a month?
Nothing.
What we talking about?
Right.
That's nothing.
Right.
But people don't think about that. They just thinking about, who she thinks she is, that she need a driver. Like, my time is my money. That's the biggest commodity that we have.
Right.
So any way that I can find to monopolize my time, I'm trying to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a visionary.
Right.
I'm not here to do my new details because I can spend that time creating, executing, getting more business, networking, doing the things that's going to grow the business. I don't want to be sitting in traffic, swerving in and out. I don't want to do that.
Can't really.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Right,
I don't want to do that.
It's funny when you say you a visionary. I was telling Rhonda, and y'all know Rhonda's been on the show. She has Business Strategies 2.0. Shout out to Rhonda and everything.
Shout
and all the connections. Because she actually made the connection. And when we come back from the break, I cannot wait till you guys hear everything Sakeya has going on. I don't want to go into it just yet, but y'all just stay here. But when you just said that, I was telling Rhonda about when you say that vision, my best friend, she's one of those people that she's not in my business day to day, but she's always a part of the visionary process, right? So when I'm like, ooh, girl, if, for example, I'm like, ooh, girl, I would love to be on a yacht. Like, she would kind of walk that dream with me, like, okay, girl, what you gonna do then?
Yeah.
Like, so she would
what
like,
we wearing? Where we going?
Right, you need people like that, right? It gives me chills.
For sure.
So, but what happens is she'll hear me dreaming, she'll hear me walk through, she'll hear God speaking to me in the moment. So a year from now, when I come back and say, girl, I want to switch this, she'll say that wasn't in the vision, though.
Right.
That ain't. Remember,
you got on track.
Remember
what we doing.
Remember on the yacht now, you said you was going to wear this.
Yeah.
Okay,
now
so I'm like,
do this.
I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Now, granted, it may or may not change my mind, but that is so important to, like you said, being able to have those moments where you can just visualize where you're trying to go. Because in all honesty, that's where I feel like where we captivate our gifts, where we really see, even if you have a business or whatever, or a brand or a movement that's similar to something else, when you're able to truly be open and free in that visionary process, you can be able to see what sets yours apart.
Yep.
Right? So, this is going to be a good show. I'm excited. So we got 2 minutes. I want you to go into real quick one of the things you have going on. Because I just give them just
Fly Girl 360 photo booth.
What is that?
Hot fire.
So I've seen these. So if people don't know what is a 360 photo booth?
Okay, so 360 photo booth is this new photo booth that's taking over the nation. Everybody see on social media, these people are standing on these platforms and it's slow motion, it's boomerang, it's fireworks, it's smoke, it's the money gun, it's lit.
Okay, so it's an experience taking pictures.
Yes, it's pictures on steroids.
Wow. And so like they can post this stuff
Yes, everything is digital. You get a digital file and you post it on all your social media platforms. I mean, there's so many uses for it. It's crazy.
So how long have you had this business?
I actually just started this maybe 2 weeks ago.
Girl, stop.
No, for real. Because I saw opportunity.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
because people are looking for them.
Yeah.
I literally had somebody ask me, where can I get one of those, like 2 days ago?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know. But I happened to just meet you, right?
I saw opportunity. I was actually in Atlanta a couple of, like in February. I was in Atlanta in February, and I went to a party, and they had it, and I was like, what the?
But you
I
was,
said,
but
oh,
you
I gotta get
got,
that.
Gotta get one.
I got to. And then I started getting online, and I'm looking, and I'm not really seeing it in Tampa. I'm like, oh, it's a go.
Let's go.
I called the people. I found out who distributed it. Called the lady. I did my research a little bit on it. Called the people out in California. Ordered it. We to the races.
Fly Girl 360, y'all. We're gonna be right back.
Yeah.
Get your pens and paper ready so y'all can write down how to book yours for your party or your event, honey. You want to have it there. It's a hot commodity.
Yes.
We'll be right back on Trap Talk Radio.
Thinking politics? Tampa Bay Politics is on every Wednesday at 11 a.m. with Angela Birdsong. Tune in right here on In Touch Radio.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals
Wow.
and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
Hey y'all, it's Trap Talk Radio, Trap Talk, Trap Music, and Trap Possibilities with Madam CJ right here on In Touch Radio, reality radio, where everyone is a star. And I have Sakeya Donaldson in the building, y'all. Fly Girl, I don't know why I want to say Fly Girl ENT. That is not her business. That is not the name. Okay, but Fly Girl Empire, because you got Fly Girl 360, and then what else?
I got Fly Girl Approved.
Okay. What is that?
Okay, so Fly Girl Approved, I wrote a book.
Okay.
I wrote a book about 3 years ago.
Okay.
Titled Fly Girl Approved. It's an A to Z guide of everything that a fly girl should own or possess. So my background is fashion. So it's like, to give you an example, I took the letters of the alphabet, and for every letter, I wrote about a different topic. So like for A, I wrote about aviator shades, because I feel personally that aviators are the most diverse type of sunglasses. Like they fit everybody's face.
Okay.
People
So
don't
is
understand.
that like what was that
like
movie?
Ray-Bans.
Okay.
Top Gun.
Okay. Okay.
The Ray-Bans, the aviators.
Okay.
So I wrote about aviators. B, I wrote about bangles. Bangles can change the whole dynamic of your outfit. And to me, bangles is like one of my favorite accessories. I'm always going to have a bracelet on.
Okay.
Regardless.
Okay.
C, I wrote about credit. It doesn't have anything to do with fashion, but if you got bad credit, you ain't really fly. You know what I mean? like.
What about F?
F, I wrote about fragrances.
Okay.
People don't understand how important fragrances are. There's daytime fragrances. There are nighttime fragrances. There are fragrances for the summer. There are fragrances for the fall. You know what I mean?
Baby, school me, because I'm still wearing Bed Bath & Beyond.
Baby. Now.
I am.
Okay. So let's get you together.
Please get me together, because I'm still...
So
okay,
like
I
I change my fragrances bi-monthly.
Okay.
And one thing that I just discovered, it's this website called fragrancenet.com, and they allow you to have a subscription.
Okay.
So every month you get a different fragrance, and they're decent size, travel bottles, so you can travel with them. But it gives you the opportunity to test out different fragrances without making an investment to spend $200 on a bottle of Bond number 9 that you're not gonna like. You know what I mean? So you can try them out. It's like $15 a month.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, they send you different fragrances. You pick out what you think you might like. They give you recommendations. So I think that's a cool thing.
Okay.
To have. And then like, for instance, like I wrote about insurance, because a lot of people don't think that that's important, whether it's life insurance, car insurance. Like, I insure anything that I spend my money on and I can insure it, I'm going to insure it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people, they just don't see the importance of that.
Where can we get that book?
It's on Amazon.
Fly Girl Approved.
Fly Girl Approved.
Okay, so you got the 360, you got Fly Girl Approved, and then
I got Fly Girl Brows.
Okay.
Which is my brow studio that I just opened about 6 months ago.
Okay.
I do microblading, micro shading, semi-permanent makeup.
Okay.
Eyebrows.
And so I know you mentioned Atlanta. So where are you from?
I'm from Tampa.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Tampa. Southeast Tampa, I guess they would call it, Progress Village, Green Ridge, that area. I went to Didell Junior High School. I went to Hillsborough for a little bit, and then I moved to Michigan to stay with my dad. So that's where I graduated, like, from high school up in Michigan.
And so how did you get to Atlanta?
After graduating from high school, I moved to Atlanta to go to college.
Okay.
I went to Clark Atlanta University.
Okay.
I got there in 98, graduated in 03, and I just...
And what was your degree in?
Hung out in the A.
Oh, you were living in Atlanta.
Yeah,
you was that black girl.
I was in the
I live in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta.
My degree is in business marketing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then after graduating, I moved to New York for a short period of time. And I attended FIT, the Fashion Institute of Technology, because that was kind of always like my passion. Like when I was in school at Clark, I had interned at D-Lo, which is Rashida from Love and Hip Hop. It's her and her husband Kirk's. That was their studio. That was like my first industry job. And then from there, I went on to Patchwork. And Patchwork is like this legendary recording studio in Atlanta. Like everybody has recorded at Patchwork. So while I was there, I wasn't interning, I was working there, but a lot of other people were always around. So we all kind of came up the same time. Like it was producers, artists, video directors, everybody just kind of hung out. So once we left from Patchwork under the Patchwork umbrella and everybody kind of sprouted out, that was our little network.
Right, cool.
So it's like one of the first people that I started working with was Jeezy. And at that time, Don Cannon was doing production for Jeezy, and I went to school with Don, and Don also was one of the little rat pack that ran around Patchwork. You know what I mean? Like one of the first videos I did was with Kai Crawford. He's a video director. He did like a lot of T.I. stuff, but the same thing. Brian Barber, DJ Drama, like all these people, it's this circle. Right. You know what I mean? So that's how I ended up.
So then
in Atlanta.
You left Atlanta and you went to FIT.
FIT. I went to Atlanta. I went to FIT, and while I was at FIT, I interned at this place called Jeffrey, New York. So if you're in the fashion circle, like Jeffrey is like the creme de la creme as far as like retail shopping. It's located in the meatpacking district in Manhattan, and right above the store is Milk Studios. So Milk Studios is where they shoot like the cover of Vogue, the cover of Harper's Bazaar, the cover all in style, like all the major fashion magazines are shot at Milk Studio. So I'm in the elevator with Heidi Klum and David LaChapelle, like all these crazy creative people. And then Jeffries was so high end, like they were always down in the store. You know what I mean? So one day I'm in the store and Tamika, at that time, she was Tamika Glover. She walks into the store. Now, Tamika is this big-time fashion stylist based out of Atlanta. I had been trying to get in with her for like a year. Wow. Like I'm calling her. She's like, no, I'm not hiring. So she walks into Jeffries. And you like, so I see her, I bum rush her. Like, this my chance. You know what I mean? Like Eminem, like I'm about to start spitting a verse or something. Like, so yeah. So I talk. I'm like, hi. I introduce myself. She's like, yeah, I know who you are. You call my office
all the time.
A lot. You're very
persistent.
How are you? Everybody good, so at that time she was I was just talking to her, and the first thing she asked me, like, how you get a job here? Because I was the first black intern that they had. Wow. And people thought I came from this wealthy family, because they was just like, how you get hooked up, what you doing here, girl? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing she asked me, and so I told her how I got the internship, and she was like, well, you know what? I'm shooting a video tonight. You want to come assist me? She was like, I don't have no money to pay you, but you could come. bet I'm coming.
I'll be there.
I'm there. So she's like,
You
the
need
call
coffee.
time is 1:00 in the morning. 1:00? Like, what? Huh? She's like, yeah. So video ended up being Alicia Keys and Usher, My Boo video. So we had to shoot because we shot it in Times Square. A portion of the video was shot in Times Square. So we had to do it at that time, you know, so that it would be shut down. So that was like my first real experience.
And of course, she didn't tell you who was going to be there.
No, she was just like, pull up. Yeah, just show up. Be on time.
And that was it.
Actually be early. Yeah, so we did that video, and she asked me, like, well, what are your plans? You know, are you staying here? You coming back to Atlanta? I was like, I'm coming back to Atlanta. So then she gave me her personal phone number. She said, call me when you get back to Atlanta. So probably a couple months later, I go back to Atlanta. I hit her up. She's like, okay. She's like, I'll try you out. I'm like, all right. So she was like, this is what I can pay you as an assistant. I think she was paying me like $500 a day. Which in my world, shit, I'm lit. You know what I mean?
$500 a day?
Yeah.
That ain't bad even now.
Right. Like, so she's paying me $500 a day. And back in the day, we were doing like 3-4 day video shoots. So I would get paid a prep day, your prep day and your wrap day. The prep days is the days before the video that you get everything prepared. And then the wrap days are after the video, and then you have to do returns, send stuff back out, whatever. So if the video is a 3-day, if the video is a 3-day shoot, you're gonna get paid for like 7 days, which are prep and wrap days. So I'm making, $4,000 a week as a 22-year-old just coming out of school. So when
opportunity of a lifetime.
Right. So when I get back, the first video that I do with her was Outkast. It was Outkast and Patti LaBelle. So we do that video. She's like, okay, I like the way you work, boom, boom, boom. So she called me the next week. I got another video. Okay, who? Sierra and Missy Elliott, 1-2 Step. Boom, we do that. Knock that out. So then she's like, well, what's your job situation? Like, are you working? Do you have a full-time job? I'm like, no, I'm I belong to you, sis.
Where you want me to be?
Yeah, so she's like, well, how do you pay your bills and stuff? I was like, well, my family. Yeah, my family, woo, woo, woo. So then she's like, well, she was like, okay, I'm shooting a big special for HBO this weekend. And she was like, I could pay you $1,500 a day. It's 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. So I'm like, all right, bet. So it turns out that it was like the last 2 shows of Usher's Confession tour before he took a break to start like his next leg of the tour. So they wanted to do it in Atlanta because everybody was gonna come out. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that changed my life.
Wow. Okay.
That changed my life.
I told y'all, don't go nowhere. I told y'all that is amazing. And I mean, that's you were able to capitalize on every stage of that. You know what I'm saying? Even the fact that when you were working in New York, and you like, listen, I don't care what I do to get in here, but I need to work in this store. Yeah. I don't care if I'm hanging up stuff.
Even the way that I got into that store was a major power move. Like I just bossed up on the people and like, yo, I'm going to New York. Because they have a store in Atlanta. It's one in Atlanta, it's one in New York. But the one in New York is top tier. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I just went into the store in Atlanta, like, who do I need to talk to? I talked to a couple people. I told them what I had going on. And I was a customer there, so they knew of me. You know what I mean? And that relationship helped me so much later on in my career. But we'll talk about that.
Okay, y'all. So we'll be back, y'all. We'll be back right here on Trap Talk Radio. If you haven't already, tell your friend to tune in. We'll be back. Trap Talk.
Okay, so how we doing?
All you sports fans, tune in every Monday morning to listen to Mic'd Up Mondays with Michael Clayton. You don't want to miss this.
On In Touch Radio.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here for you.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals
Wow.
and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
Hey y'all, it's Trap Talk Radio, Trap Talk, Trap Music, and Trap Possibilities with Madam CJ right here on In Touch Radio, reality radio, where everyone is a star. I have Sakeya in the building. She's telling us about her amazing journey so far. So y'all, if y'all haven't already, if y'all haven't been in the car with us, we didn't left Tampa, went to Michigan.
Yes.
Michigan. We was in Atlanta, went to Colorado. Then we went to New York.
Now we back in the A.
Okay, so she done bossed up on the people in the fashion store. Okay, got her little gig.
Yes, girl.
Back to Atlanta and called her girl, was like, listen, I'm back in Atlanta. She told her I pay her $500 a day. Now she want to wonder how she paying her bills with them $500 a day. You pay me some money. And that was back.
That was in like 03.
That's
03, 04. Yeah.
So like you was
crazy.
Doing all right.
It was crazy.
Was your rent and stuff expensive in Atlanta at the time?
Yeah, well at that time, like I was dating a very generous guy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? My dad is,
generous,
successful and generous.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I didn't have those.
You weren't worried about it.
Yeah, I didn't have those worries.
As to why you already knew to shop in that store that you bossed up
exactly.
on. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly, because that's why the people was on me. I mean, like, this is like, when I say high end, I mean like Barney's, Bergdorf Goodman level, Neiman's level.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then on Saturdays, they used to let us shop. That was the only day we could use our discount. So the people didn't know, like, but I didn't eat the whole week. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not eating. I want these Manolo Blahniks on Saturday. So when I go in there, on my day off and I'm buying stuff, they're just like, and they know I'm an intern, so they know I'm not making money.
Right.
And then they're like, well, where do you live? I'm like, oh, I live in Harlem. And they like, Harlem? Like, yeah, on Lenox and 127.
Right.
They're like, oh, like, and what do your parents do? I'm like, they work. But it was
mind your business.
Yeah, it was different.
Right.
It was different.
So you are at this point in your life. So you're doing your thing. You said so. What changed your career was that that HBO special.
Yes.
That you were. And so then what happened to that? And then
after that, just being in that environment first of all, because you got to think this was Usher Raymond Confessions. Usher. 10 million records sold. Like nobody walking the planet is hotter than Usher at this point. So just
that album is still classic.
Watching what it takes to get to that level. Like this guy is doing 3 rehearsals a day and then putting on a full show. And I'm not talking about BS rehearsals. I'm talking about full-fledged dance out rehearsals. And so I was hired as a quick change stylist. So you know how the artist might be on the stage and then they got to run off and then they come back on with a different outfit.
Yeah.
So I'm down there ripping his clothes off of him, putting stuff back on. Like that's my job, right?
Right.
So just being able to be around that level of, I don't want to say perfection, but it was like, okay, if you want to get to the top, you got to really want it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I do that, and then probably about 3 weeks later, Tamika calls me. She's like, well, what are you doing for the next 8 months? And I'm like, whatever you tell me I'm doing. And she's like, well, one of the girls, one of the, quick change stylists is pregnant and she can't travel. She has a high risk pregnancy or whatever. She can't travel. Do you want to go? Yeah. I want to go.
I'm there.
I ain't asked nothing. She was like, okay, I'm going to send you over the contract. Woo. I'm like, all right, but. So I'm looking at the contract. The first thing I want to know is how much I'm going to get paid. Like, that's all I'm concerned about. Anything else, like, you're not selling me as a sex slave, I'm good.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's like
we'll
the money.
Yeah,
we'll figure out the rest. Like, the money is crazy. I'm getting like $800 a day. I'm getting a $200 a day food stipend. So basically, I'm making $1,000 a day for 6 days a week for 8 months. Yeah, like it was bananas with no bills. Cause I'm on the road, so I'm not spending nothing. I'm just getting a check. Yeah, it was crazy. So just being in that type of environment, and that was like the first time I really got to travel. You know what I mean? And just being
was it stateside or was it international?
It was North America, so it was Canada,
okay,
Mexico, and the United States. Yeah.
So you're doing that, and then and when did you write Fly? When did you write
Fly Girl Approved?
Right. When did you write that?
I wrote that in 18. So this is 15 years prior to prior to all of that.
Okay, so that pretty much set the stage of your
of
career.
my
And
styling.
so what were you doing in between that time? Between then,
so
and you
but in between there, I had opened up a boutique. I had moved back to Tampa for some family stuff for probably like 2 years, and I opened up a men's boutique down here called Splurge. It was right here on 40th Street. Now, I chose to sell men clothes because at that time I was styling men.
Yeah.
Like T.I., Jeezy, Usher, 3-6 Mafia. Like, these were the people that I was styling, the young blood, so I had my hand on the pulse of men's fashion. And then men don't argue with you. Like, women can wear cheap clothes. You know what I mean? Like, we could put a $5 outfit on, and that ain't gonna stop nothing. Like you just said, I could put watch your man.
Right.
He's still on me in my $5 outfit.
Right, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But men, they don't do that. Like, they gonna spend the money. They not gonna think. They not gonna. You know what I mean? And I was doing something new and fresh because basically what I was doing, anything that I put on my client, I had it in my store.
That's dope.
So because I already had the relationships with the designers, because I was working with them to get the stuff for my clients.
People want to wear what they're wearing.
Exactly.
Wow.
So when the whole like skulls, like when they was wearing the sleeves, the skull shirts with the sleeves and the big belt, but man, I made a killing. I was killing these dudes. I was killing them. I felt guilty for taking their money. Like, damn, like, y'all just gonna give me the money like that? All right, cool. Let's go. Appreciate you.
Want?
Yeah, appreciate you. And then that was another thing. Like, I had relationships with all the major like sneaker companies. So I had a lot of the guys from the Buccaneers. Like, these guys wore size 17, size 15. So you can't go nowhere and get, you know what I mean? So if I could luckily put my hands on a pair of Jordans, you gonna pay.
Most definitely.
Period. Hey, bro, I got these size 17s. How much you want for them? Say $1,200.
Okay.
I probably paid $200 because I'm getting them. They still retail. They don't care that they a size 17. They retail. You know what I mean?
But her price though, because I know you got it.
I got what you don't, and nobody in this city got it.
And you want it.
So what we talking about?
Thank you.
Yeah. I ain't even gonna get, because I got 3 more dudes I could call that wear a size 17, and you know this.
But and that is you capitalizing on your market.
Exactly, and that's me knowing my worth. Yeah. You know how long it took me to build those relationships with those people? That didn't happen overnight. And look at the type of people that I had to work with for them to even be able to take my call, for me to even, and that's what I always tell people. The first thing you have to do is believe that you're supposed to be where you're supposed to be.
Right.
And a lot of people don't believe that. I believe any room I walk into, I'm supposed to be there.
Absolutely.
I ain't sneak in. I walked in. I got the same email you did. I got the same invitation you did.
I'm supposed to be here.
I'm supposed to be here.
You know, when you talk about law, like the law of attraction and the secret and man, whatever, you know, however you want to say that, the moment you doubt yourself, it almost is like it pushes that back, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It shifts the energy.
It does.
It shifts the energy.
The moment, that's why you got to be very careful. Like I tell people all the time, the things that I've been most successful at, I spoke it, I believed it, and I didn't question myself. Like, and it's just like, oh, okay, but I knew that though.
Yeah.
But the things that I'm like, farther and farther away, right? Because that doubt, you're right, that you have to know who you are, what you are, and that's exactly what you exhibit.
Yeah.
So I want to, because I read your bio, y'all. This bio, I'm like, she sent it to me a couple days ago, but y'all know my listeners know I don't read, and that's bad. Shame on me. But there were some shifts that you had to go through.
Yeah, so, a lot.
So what happened with those shifts?
It was.
And when was that? Because we're kind of doing a timeline.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was so much. Like I opened a nightclub. You know, I started dating this guy in Atlanta, and he had a lounge, and this was before lounges were the thing to do. It's like if you ain't have a club that hold 10,000 people, like you weren't popping. And he had this. It's so different now. It's like now you don't even want to be bothered,
right?
You know, so he max. So it's like he had this little lounge, and he was an African guy, and he was booming.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I couldn't believe, like, bro, you making $30,000 a night on a Tuesday?
Dang.
Like, and he's staying open to 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, it's crazy. And so I'm peeping it. Okay. But you know, he African.
Yeah.
He running it like he
running
running it like Death Row Records. You know what I'm saying? Like his business ain't what it supposed to be. Taxes ain't being paid. You know, all kind of just stuff that people do.
Yeah.
So they shut it down. They shut the club down. So the city.
Okay.
The city shut the club down. So then he was like, I'm gonna open it back up. So now this time I'm in a position to go into business with him, because now I don't want to just be your girl and you just throwing me a couple dollars, even though there was a nice couple of dollars. Like, I need a percentage, you know what I mean? Because I'm up here, I'm doing the work, but I'm not being compensated properly for it. So let's put it on paper and let's make it make sense. So I did that for like 2.5 years, and then we shut that down, because I always tell people, businesses like that, you got to get in and get out. They don't have a long life. The first person gets shot, the first person sue you, the first time somebody get in an accident, leaving your spot drunk, like you're done. You know what I mean? And even though the money and stuff was good, the day that they closed, because they closed us down again, the day that they closed us down again, that was like one of the best days of my life.
Really?
Like, I was so stressed. I mean, I was stressed. I had tension in my body that I didn't know even existed. Because you got to think, when you mix liquor, rowdy people, drugs,
you're just dealing with
sex,
all of that.
You just operating in sin. And I'm you just operating in sin. And you can't ask God to bless something that is sinful at its core. You know what I mean? So
I think that's a word. Wait, before we go past it, I know we probably finna go on break, but she said, wow, you can't ask God to bless something that is sinful at its core. My God,
like when you think about the elements that make a nightclub successful, it's not positive.
Right.
It's not. It's nothing positive about it. And as time went on, and I started getting more, seeing up close and personal what was going on, like, it didn't make me happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it didn't make me proud. You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, the money good, but I'm better than this.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm better than charging somebody $500 for a bottle of liquor that I only paid $35 for. Like, make a profit, but don't price gouge. Like, I'm loan sharking.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this should be illegal. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've raised the ground 6 inches off the ground and put a red rope around it. And I got permission to charge you $2,500. And you going to pay it. And I know you don't have no college fund set up for your kids. I know you live in an apartment. I know you got bad credit. You have no business being in here giving me $2,500 to stand 6 inches off the ground.
Right.
But I'm going to take it.
Right. and be proud of it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it started to weigh on you a little bit. It started to weigh on you.
Y'all, we'll be back. We'll be back. We get into the good stuff. We'll be back, y'all. Trap Talk Radio. We'll be back, y'all. Trap Talk Radio.
Call Ricky. Ask Ricky. You need medical or a lawyer? I got the man to do the legwork for you. We tried the other ones before, so believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking care of state of Florida. Grab a pen of sundown 184-361-RICK. That's 184-361-425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Just ask Ricky, plus your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361-RICK. Call Ricky, ask Ricky is a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and giving you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
In Touch Radio, where you can listen to a cruising flow of smooth soul and jazz, today's R&B, a fun touch of hip-hop and gospel.
All my music on one station.
Giving you a buffet of music, news, and entertainment. We're In Touch Radio.
Hey y'all, it's Trap Talk Radio, Trap Talk, Trap Music, and Trap Possibilities with Madam CJ right here on In Touch Radio, reality radio where everyone is a star. I have the amazing Sakeya in the building with me, y'all. We've been in the car with her riding. She's telling us her life story, baby. We rolling. They hate it. Listen, y'all. So if you missed it, the second part. So what we was in, that's when she was making $1,000 a day.
All the money.
All that money, 6 days a week. Listen, y'all. You know how when you with your big cousin, they be telling you a story like when they in high school, you like, and then what happened? And then I'm over here drinking my coffee, like, okay, and then
what?
And then what? And then y'all, she didn't open up because she was with an African. Y'all know I like African shy. She was with an African. They had a little lounge before everybody, because we was laughing if you didn't hear. We were saying that now lounges are a thing. Like, I think that's so cool too. And then lounge has been popping up in Tampa. Yeah. And it's cool. They make this little space.
And he was major. Like, he really changed the landscape of partying in Atlanta.
Wow.
Like, he was the first person to have hookahs in Atlanta.
Really?
Now, just think of what hookahs are now.
Right.
Like, if you don't got hookah, we ain't coming.
Y'all got hookahs? Now, do you feel like he was inspired by what was going on in Africa or like what?
Yes. Because he traveled. He said he started smoking hookah. He used to go to the Middle East.
Okay.
So when he came back, he just linked up with like some people from Turkey or something, got some hookahs. Because I remember the first time I went in the club, I was like, what is that?
What is that?
Yeah, and he blowing big gas. I was just like, wow.
And they holding a little, it looks so cool when you do it or whatever. But yeah, so now y'all, they done shut down the club for the second time. And now she like, listen, I'm happy.
Good.
I'm good. So
yeah,
but I mean, one thing that she has showed us and telling us is like, capitalize on your opportunities.
Yes.
Like, you ain't sleep on none of that stuff, right? You wasn't saying like, oh no, I'm good. You was like, oh, that's mine.
Yeah.
I want it all, right? So you say you wrote your book, Fly Girl Approved, which we definitely gonna let you guys know how to get that book. And basically, it is a ABC to what a fly girl should have in their life,
not even just
fashion. So, when did you write that book?
I wrote the book in 2017, and it came out. I released it in 2018. And writing a book was something that I always had on my things to do list.
Okay.
Because eventually my goal in my fashion career was to become like, have you ever watched like the Today Show, and they might have a fashion insider on there that's talking about trends, upcoming trends for the fall and the winter and things like that. Like, that was always something on my mind that I wanted to do. And I remember I was working with this PR girl, shout out to Nicole Gardner, one of the dopest PR people in Atlanta. She had told me that all this is before influencers was a word, but experts. They write books.
Okay.
That kind of solidifies you as an expert if you have something published. So that always was kind of like in the back of my mind. So actually, I had started writing the book maybe 2 or 3 times. And I just kind of put it to the side. I changed the concept. I was like, well, I want to do this. I want to do that. Then I was just like, you know what? Sometimes you just got to tell people. Some people can't deal with a lot of options. You give people too many options, they get confused and nervous. You know what I'm saying? And they back in the same place, still not making a decision. So you lay it out, A, B, C, D, E. This is what it is. So once I settled on that that concept, I still didn't do it immediately. And it's always trouble that puts a fire up under you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in 2017, August 3rd, I'll never forget, August 3rd, I get a knock at the door, 6 o'clock in the morning. It was a very aggressive knock. That's the police. That's what I said in my head. I already knew in my head, that's the police. No, it wasn't the police. It was like the federal marshals and the DEA agent. They got to be at the wrong door. Like, that's all I'm saying. You got to be at the wrong door. Sakeya, yes. Grabbed me, pulled me out the house, put me on the ground, all this stuff. Guns, everything's crazy. So then when he tell me he a DEA agent and he tell me he from the Middle District of Alabama. So when he said that, I already knew it had something to do with this guy that I was dating.
Gotcha.
So they take me back inside. They let me get dressed, all this stuff. So they get me in the car, you know, do what they gonna do, boop-de-boop. They take me downtown, process me. I end up coming home like 2 days later. So they tell me that my charge is conspiracy to distribute cocaine. So I'm like, nah, like,
I'm dressing people for a living. What you talking about?
Now, if you told me I had too much drip, then okay. But cocaine, like, nah. So, you know, they give me my indictment and all this, and I'm just looking like, what the, like, these people bugging, you know? So I contact a lawyer, and the lawyer is like, I'm like, what do they mean distribute? I've never seen a drug. What are they talking about? He was like, that's not what conspiracy means. Conspiracy means that you knew something was going on and you did something to help further along the activity. Process. So he was like, have you ever got the guy a car? I said, yes. He's like, have you got him a place? I said, yes. He was like, well, you're part of the conspiracy.
Wow.
If he used that car or that residence to do anything illegal.
That's
so I'm
crazy.
like, so they came to my house at 6 o'clock in the morning about a car? Like, really? So 36 people on my indictment. 36 people. I'm the only one from Atlanta. Everybody else from Alabama. So once I contact a lawyer down in Alabama, he's telling me like, okay, your boyfriend is the target. He's the number one guy on the indictment. You're his girlfriend.
Of course, they're going to come after you.
They're going to come after you. So I'm like, well, I live in Atlanta. He live in Alabama. It was only like an hour drive, but still, I went to Alabama like 3 times. Once I went down there and saw how they was living, I was like, bro, I'm good. I'm not coming down here. What purpose do I have to come down here?
Right.
He had a place in Atlanta. You know, he always was in Atlanta. So I'm telling my lawyer, like, bro, I don't know what he got going on in Atlanta. Like, they live in trailer parks and stuff.
Right.
I live on the 26th floor on Peachtree. I don't know. When he come to Atlanta, we ball out. We go to the football game. We go shopping. Here. We over here. We throwing money. We a cheater. I don't know what he got going on.
They like, how you doing all that?
Yeah, that's not my business.
Right. No. Right.
And that's what I told him. That's what I'm telling my lawyer. Like, you expect me to interrogate everybody? Like, I live in Atlanta. I don't look at it like black people not having money.
That's the difference. Yep.
Everybody I know got money. Everybody I know is successful. He not doing nothing than any of the other people that I done dated is doing. You know what I mean? So we get into I was on pretrial for like 18 months maybe. They took my passport. I'm sick because I'm a traveler. Like, I go on at least 3 to 4 international trips a year, like big trips. I'm not going to Cancun and Jamaica. I'm going to Dubai and the Amalfi Coast, and you know what I mean. When they picked me up, I was scheduled to go to Greece for my birthday in October. I already done got my ticket. I'm ready to go. They take my passport, so boom, I can't go to Greece. All my friends done went for my birthday, but I can't go. You know what I mean?
That was probably a rough 18 months.
It was, but you know what? It wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't. Like, that was the best. That was one of the best periods of my life. Like, I was making more money. I looked better. I was on my workout. My mind was clear, because I remember when I first got out, after they kept me for a couple of days, they got out. My brother had came up from Tampa up to Atlanta, and we went for a drive. And he was like, the first thing you have to do is forgive yourself. Don't sit around here beating yourself up, making yourself feel like, forgive yourself. Then get into your mind that you got to fight. So I took that mentality to every single thing that I had going on. Like, I'm working out, like like my body is crazy. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm making money. I'm focused. Everything is a focus, because I know now my freedom is teetering. These people talk about giving me 5 years.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I'm not wasting
not a day.
I'm going at everything 110%. So during that time, I'm like, okay, I got to stop doing. I said, I'm going to write the book. I'm going to write the book. You know what I'm saying? I got to do it. Everything I said I'm going to do, I got to do it right now. So, like, for probably about the first 8 months, I'm on a monitor. They had an ankle monitor on me. It wasn't bad. I still could move around. I just had to be in the house at 12 o'clock, midnight.
Oh,
so,
that's not bad.
Yeah, so I'm pressing the people. Like, look, y'all know what I do. This what I do. I got to move around. You know what I'm saying? And people because when I got arrested, it was everywhere, because I'm well known. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, it spread around the city like crazy. So everybody knew what I had going on. So the type of messages that I was getting, like, yo, sis, like, you just got a unbreakable spirit. Like, it's no way I could be moving around how you move, knowing what you got on your back. You know what I mean? But my thing was, like, I ain't gonna be broke and indicted. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be fat. I ain't gonna be fat and indicted. Like, what we do?
I gotta set myself up.
I gotta do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was just my mentality, and that's just the way that I went at everything. So like, I'm on the people. Like, look, I gotta go to LA. I gotta go to Vegas. I gotta go here. Y'all can't stop me from making money. You know what I mean? I gotta make a living. And I wanted them to understand, I don't sell drugs. Y'all done locked him up. Y'all done locked everybody up. I'm still living my same life. I ain't moved. Ain't nothing getting repoed. Like, because that's not the way that I made my living. You know what I'm saying? So my stuff don't stop.
Right.
So I'm still moving around. I'm still doing my thing. So during that time, that was when I wrote and published the book.
Wow. Yep. And so when did you end up? Did you go? Did you?
Yes.
So you
yes.
ended up going?
So I end up getting 26 months.
Okay.
They sentenced me to 26 months. Yeah, 26 months. I got sentenced November of 2018.
Okay.
2018. So I go in January of 2019.
Okay.
So I go in, and I was in West Virginia. They call it Camp Cupcake. That's where Martha Stewart was at. And I don't have nothing to compare it to. You know, I don't have anything to compare it to, but it wasn't bad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was, we had a lot of freedom. You not locked in no cell. There's no cell. There's no locked doors. It's none of that. You know what I mean? The same. Yeah, I was in the Fed, and I was at a camp.
Yeah.
Like, I flew to West Virginia, took a Uber to the prison. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Walked on the people. You know what I mean? I turned myself in January, so it was cold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got a mink on, you know, Uggs. Yeah.
That's not funny, but like, yeah.
Like, if y'all gonna, I'm here.
I'm ready.
It's cold.
I'm ready.
You know what I'm saying? I got 3 cell phones on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still emailing right up until I still got stuff to do.
I'm talking to y'all. Give me about 2-3 days. I'm gonna set everything up.
Yeah, I got like $5,000 on me because the people told me I could bring however much money to put on my books. You know, I had them pulled up on a couple of my friends before I left. You know what I'm saying? I got ones, fives, 10s, 20s. I got every denomination of the money. The lady is mad. She got to count all this money. She pissed. Like, I'm like,
but y'all want me here?
Y'all want me here. And I got to be comfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I need a receipt.
So you came home. And you started. I know we only got about a minute or so left, but you came home and then what's popping now?
What's popping now?
She got to come back on the show.
What's popping now is Fly Girl, the brand. Like, we're doing everything. Like I said, I got another book coming out this quarter. Fly Girl Guide to Self-Esteem. Okay. Because what I did when I was there, right during the lockdown, because we got locked down when COVID hit. I was locked up when COVID hit. So they locked us down. I just got home in August. Wow. I just got home in August. Yeah, I just got home in August. So what I used to do every day is I used to write a quote and put it on the outside of my door. And it was just something to keep the morale up. You know what I mean? Because it's bad. Tough. Yeah, you locked up and locked up. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, bro. Y'all dragging it. So it got to a point where people were looking forward to seeing the quotes every day, like the guards, the counselors. Like if I woke up late and I didn't have a quote up there because I get up early, people like, hey, Sakeya, what's up? Where the quote for today? And I'm like, well, damn. You know what I mean? So I kept all of those stickers. I kept all of them.
Oh, wow.
And I turned them into like a journal. So that's going to be my next.
Okay, so you got to come back on the show probably before that, but when you release that for sure. So we got that book coming out. How can they get with the Fly Girl
360? Well, I'm on Instagram, Fly Girl 360 Booth. Okay. On Instagram. And then the email is flygirl360booth@gmail.com.
And then what about the brows?
The brows, I'm located on 40th Street in East Tampa. Okay. Fly Girl Brows TPA on Instagram. Fly Girl Brows 1 Gmail is my email.
And so on 40th, where are you?
40th between Osborne and Chelsea. I'm right here in East Tampa.
Okay.
40th Street between Chelsea and Osborne.
Well, I have enjoyed you.
Thank you.
On this show. We got you got to come back, y'all. This is an amazing show. Yeah, right. You got to get some Fly Girl stuff, right? So I'm super excited to have. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me for this hour. You guys, make sure you guys check her out, support her, and learn from everything that she taught us and showed us today, y'all. We'll be back next week on Trap Talk Radio. Love y'all. Bye.
Peace.